Rise and shine, it's 10 at 10 time. We got some great looking plants to talk about today, y'all. Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to the 10 at 10 for March 7th of 2024.
Hey y'all, I'm Tim. That's my brother Matt. We're the family mail order business. We ship Japanese maples directly to your door, and we have over 1,000 varieties of Japanese maples. We're going to talk about 10 of the 20 trees getting listed today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on MrMaple.com.
All right, guys, let's get into it. Today, first on the table, we got Maiku jaku, the dancing peacock. This one's got a lot of aliases. It's got a lot of different names out there. You can track this one down under a lot of different titles. Aconautifolium. Some people say Aconautifolium. Some people say dancing peacock. I've even seen it listed as fern leaf. We like to go with the original name from Japan, Maiku jaku. I think it's the most poetic, the most accurate, and I love that it translates as dancing peacock.
Man, the fall colors on this are electric. The big leaves on this, they're emphatic. It's got that boom, boom, pow. It'll be rocking your garden. I mean, this is one of those trees that lights up the garden with some amazing, amazing yellows, oranges, and reds consistent almost every single year. And the large foliage that looks like a dancing peacock, it adds a dramatic effect even when it's not in fall color.
When we have this one in numbers, it's normally our highest selling Acer japonicum for good reason. People love this one. It's a great plant, mid-size, lush green foliage. Of course, you get those great tassel flowers with Acer japonicums. I love how divided Maiku jaku is on the leaf. Absolutely outstanding plant. These are going to go fast today. They hadn't been on our website in a while, so grab yours today at 10 a.m. Acer japonicum Maiku jaku.
Guys, next up, we've got Acer palmatum dissectum Monachella gardens. This is a selection by one of our friends who had Monachella nurseries down around Columbia, South Carolina. The area is actually called Monachella, and this thing has a really nice weeping habit, good graceful style, and good red color.
Yeah, great sizes on these. This one had excellent heat tolerance around Columbia. And if you're from the South, you know Columbia is hot as Hades. Columbia, South Carolina, last time I was there, I think my sunglasses melted in the car. Like, it is hot as Hades. It's got a little extra kick even over like Dallas. Like, Columbia just gets that extra mugginess. This one did excellent down there. It was exceptional. It reminded me of a more heat-tolerant Crimson Queen. I love the colors on this. It's a very picked-up, bright red. We've absolutely loved its durability, but also its shape and color. Typically 4 feet tall, 5 to 6 feet wide, impeccable deep maroons with pink-red new growth.
An excellent weeping red lace leaf that's going to be heat-tolerant, add that graceful beauty in your landscape, a good umbrella habit, and it's going to be something that's great in containers, and it's something they can put out in the landscape as well. Monachella Gardens, it's one we try to offer frequently here on Mr. Maple because it has a really nice weeping habit to it and that good red color.
All right, guys, what do we got next here?
Guys, looks like we've got a Rutgers hybrid. They've got some of the best kousa dogwoods. This one is Rosy Teacups.
This one is phenomenal. This is going to work zone 6 through 9. You want to give it some late day protection from that high afternoon sun, especially in those hotter zones. This one is an exceptional pink dogwood, excellent flowering, excellent fall color. We really like what this one brings to the table. An excellent upright clone too. This one's going to fill out nicely. Typically one that's going to get in that 8 to 10 foot range in 10 years.
And the blooms on this are really large with that pink color. It stands out. This is a kousa hybrid dogwood that's going to be blooming during the summer months. So when this thing blooms, it'll almost cover the entire tree, so you won't see much of the foliage because of how many blooms are on this tree. It's a prolific bloomer. It's disease resistant. It's powdery mildew resistant. It's one of those plants that's easy to grow out there in the garden, and it's going to give you some good flowering interest in an ornamental tree that can be a great companion with your Japanese maples.
Not only does this one hit you with those large pink blooms, that fall color is exceptional. This one is noted as having one of the better red fall colors for a dogwood. A great dogwood to be adding here today. We got some Rosy Teacups and some excellent sizes hitting that 10 at 10, y'all. All right, guys, I like this one a lot. This one comes from down under. This is one from Australia. I don't even actually know how to say this last name. We call it John Trayvon a lot, but it's actually like John Tuon. I don't know. Awesome plant, incredible purple shades.
Yeah, John Tuon gives you that Barney purple color. I mean, it's unreal. It's a plant you're going to love, just like those kids love Barney. This thing is that unusual shade that you don't get out of many Japanese maples. And that's going to give it that extra wow factor in the garden. It has a really unusual upright habit. and that color is just outrageous.
This one's from down under, plant it right side up. You're gonna love it. The color is incredible, guys. This one is a game changer for color. It is such a weird shade. I would almost compare this as a plant to something like Gable's Glory, because it's got an outside the box shade that nothing else quite hits. And that's what John Trayvon does. It hits a shade that there's just nothing else that's that color. It is an abundant purple that's just really full and rich. And it's interesting on that bigger style leaf. Absolutely love this plant. I think as it gets more popular and more popular, it's going to be one you're going to see highly sought after here in America. We're offering it again. We offered it last year for the first time here at Mr. Maple. It's back. This one's going to sell out today. Get a chance to grab this amazing one from Australia.
John Trayvon, amazing plant, rare on the market, only available on Mr. Maple.
All right, y'all, we've got an open house coming up April 5th and 6th. That's less than a month away, y'all. We're going to have a fun day by all. We're going to be opening up. We're going to be having that Friday is going to be the main day from 8 to 5. We're going to have a little piece Saturday from 8 to 12, hard cutoff at 12. Friday's going to be the main day. There's going to be a lot of crazy stuff happening here from our game show, food trucks. We got a coffee truck coming in. So people have been telling us, hey, man, I need a little bit of coffee when I get there in the morning. We got you covered. We got a coffee truck. It's called Grinders Keepers. I think that'll be a lot of fun for people making it here. We like to make these open houses events. I mean, somebody messaged me the other day, and like, you're like an event planner now. It's like, that's kind of what we're doing with our open houses. We like to go above and beyond. So be here at the Spring Fling. It's going to kick off the year here at Mr. Maple for open houses. If you missed that one, we will be doing Memorial Day as always. So, but I think that one's going to be a showstopper you're going to want to be a part of.
And if you get here, you want to get here early. There's a lot of trees to look through. There's more Japanese maples in 1 gallons here available retail. Different varieties than anywhere else in the United States, maybe even in the world. You're going to want to be here. A lot of fun things happening at MrMaple.com, April 5th and 6th. You're going to want to be here.
All right, y'all. Next up, we've got Acer shirasawanum, little fellow.
Yeah, this is a new introduction by Talon Buchholz. It's an Acer shirasawanum hybrid that gives you some plum colors in the spring, going to green late summer. And Talon says in the fall, you can get some oranges on the outside rim with some yellows on the outside. So it's got a little bit of unusual stuff going on. It is a more dwarf Acer shirasawanum.
Typically, this one is around 6 foot in 10 years, making it a smaller overall habit. Now, it does have a very nice small leaf for an Acer shirasawanum as well. Really nice looking plant. This one kind of reminds me a little bit of the series, if you want to, that he kind of released with Bronze Age of some new shirasawanums. Bronze Age and Royalty came out. Little fella kind of fit into that mix of new shirasawanum hybrids. This one likely has some parentage as well with palmatum, making it vigorous and durable. Absolutely adorable plant. Really nice shapes on this one. Newer one from Talon Buchholz that may be a little bit more rare in the trade. Isn't out there quite as much.
And this is the first time it's getting listed today on MrMaple.com. Many of these trees will sell out fast today. Make sure to check out quickly because our website doesn't hold it for you until you complete that checkout process.
Grab you a little fella today. All right, we're bringing back some Stewartia. I had somebody ask recently, you know, what you'd like to see more on Mr. Maple. One of the top answers was Stewartia. So Stewartia pseudocamellia plant mad garden. This is a exciting, really colorful foliage Stewartia pseudocamellia.
I mean, it looks like something that's out of like the Mad Hatter. I mean, it has silver blue foliage on top of this. It has a really nice structure, upright form, but bark that you love with Stewartia pseudocamellia. It's almost like a crepe myrtle. We get some flaking of cinnamon, brown, and gray in there. Gives some really good winter interest and some excellent fall colors of bright oranges and reds.
Sounds kind of delicious. This one is awesome. Probably a sister seedling from the same nursery that introduced pewter. This one actually is noted as having one of the best forms. Like that shape is exceptional. It's a little bit more of a street tree form. So think of your upright with nice broad branching. Lovely plant. Stewartia pseudocamellias, they have everything you want in a plant. They're flowering, bark interest, fall color, growth rate, everything you want in a plant. And this one actually has some silvery variegated foliage. So it gives you something for every single season. I think they're just the ultimate plants. We're going to keep expanding our Stewartia pseudocamellia collection here at Mr. Maple, even other species of Stewartia. Grab you a plant mad garden. I think it's a beautiful plant that's going to really add a lot to your garden. You know, it's understated. Like, probably my least favorite thing about this plant is that it has blooms like a camellia. Like, everything else about it stands out to me more, and then that's probably the main thing that draws most people to it. The bark, the fall color, the spring foliage on this, exceptional plant.
It's the triple threat tree, plus you've got the silver blue foliage. I mean, it brings it each and every season. It's a tree that deserves a place in your garden. Make sure you give Stewartias good drainage. And once you plant them in the ground, don't be moving around a lot in the garden. They don't like to be transplanted a lot. So find that good spot in the garden, plant it, and enjoy the beauty this tree will provide.
They definitely do not like to be bare root once in leaf. That's a good recommendation tip too. I had somebody bare root one time and tease out the roots in like July. Stewartia really don't like that. So make sure not to, leave a little bit of soil around this one when you're moving them around. Exceptional plant though. These are really a showstopper. Grab you a Plant Mag garden. Should we do more Buckholz intros?
Nah, yeah, of course. We've got Acer palmatum black hole.
This could go with Nebula. We could get like a celestial series maybe. We could get like a whole like out there, out of this world plants, like our Area 51. We should have named this one. Black hole is dope. It is a dwarfer one from that new Ghost collection. Now this one tends to be more multi-stemmed and short. So it's obviously the name has a lot of dark foliage to it. I mean, black hole implies it's really dark. It's reticulated, so you get that veining going on. But one of the things I like about this one that makes it stand out from something like Wave Leaf or Purple Ghost is that it's kind of short and dense for us. This one tends to be 6 foot and extremely multi-stemmed with a lot of foliage all the way up and down the plant.
Now this one has really surprised me in the fall. The foliage actually lightens up quite a bit, going to some oranges and then to reds. It is an outstanding upright Japanese maple with that dark color. Plant something lighter next to this like a green lace leaf, like a Veritas or a summer gold, and you're gonna really make this tree have good dynamic contrast between the two different trees.
Awesome plant. Get some great sizes on these Acer palmatum black holes. Phenomenal plant. I think you're going to really enjoy this one, whether it's in a container or in the ground. He mentioned summer gold. It's a great pairing size-wise. So like shape even really complements each other, not just the color. What else we got going on here today, Tim?
Guys, next up, we got a Shin to Sojo.
Shin to Sojo. It means improved to Sojo. Shin actually just means improved. To Sojo, one of our top selling plants. We sometimes do offer Shin to Sojo. This one has a slightly different pink color to it in the spring. It's also slightly faster growing in the ground than to Sojo. Now, Shin to Sojo's still been around for a long time. Somebody like to put that improved to Sojo on it. It's a good thing in America we don't just say like improved Emperor One. Improved Emperor
Be
One.
creative, come on.
Right. Awesome plant though. This one's very popular for bonsai. That spring display is floral, y'all. It looks like flowers. It is one of my favorite pinks going on in the fall, and it just reds. The colors are outstanding. That spring display though really captures the eye. I love this next to things like Ueno Yama or Katsura. You really just get that intense flowering aspect. Like to me, it's got everything you love about like flower and cherry season. Like you've got that feel to it.
The spring color is so dramatic that people often will see a photo of it and think that it's the fall color because they're very similar. It's bright and intense, and it lights up the spring garden. And it changes throughout the seasons in a dramatic fashion. So it's a tree that really is the coming of the seasons in each of the seasons. It is outstanding out there. It's going to be a tree that you'll grow to love, and grow to love the changing of the seasons with the intensity of the bright red in the spring and then a bright red again in the fall.
Great in the summer too. You get greener growth, but you get kind of pink new growth, that kind of shrimp pink going on over top of it. Gives it some nice contrast with itself. Everybody always asks, are they grafted? These are grafted very low. I do recommend getting a grafted tree if you're into bonsai. Plant that, do your air layers and rooted cuttings from it. You're going to get to enjoy a tree in the ground that gives you many seasons of beauty, but you're going to be able to create your bonsai content from it. So a lot of bonsai purists will go, oh no, it's grafted. I can't use any of your trees. Most of the experts I talk to prefer having one in the ground. Like they don't start out with something like this for a bonsai anyway. They'll grow it up, take an air layer off something big. So I think that's a great way to do it, and they're going to grow faster in the ground and better from graft.
Well, Shin to Sojo, it's an extremely heat-tolerant tree. It's a Japanese maple that you can put out there and really pair with other interesting trees that have that flowering interest. You can put this out there in that azalea garden, and it's going to really be like that flowering tree in addition to your azaleas. If you hadn't checked out our azaleas, go check out our azalea collection on MrMaple.com. We've got one of the best azaleas collections available of anywhere online.
We're actually beefing that one up again right now too, so there's about to be a ton of cool new azaleas dropping. You guys love the conifers. We're always adding more. We've got Blue Shag on the 10 at 10 today. All you 70s fans can break out the disco.
I'm guessing his name is
disco dance?
That shag carpet. So it's got like, that shag carpet you used to walk around bare feet in. That's sort of what this thing sort of feels like if you feel across this. It's a Pinus strobus witch's broom, tight, dense. It's going to be 4 foot by 5 foot in 10 years. And being a Pinus strobus, it's hardy all across the country in so many zones. Easy tree for a lot of people to grow. Make sure you give it good drainage.
I'm an 80s baby, so I miss the 70s, but I remember in the back room my grandma had a green shag carpet. So Blue Shag coming in with some amazing textures. It does have a quality that makes you just want to like touch this plant. It's one of those conifers you're gonna kind of have to touch it, interact with. It also helps that it's soft. It's not one of the spiky ones. So when you touch it, it feels nice. But it has one of those qualities, like when people walk up to this one in the garden, they're gonna touch it. They're gonna pet it like a pet. It's kind of funny how some conifers just elicit that kind of response every single time somebody sees it.
It's definitely a tree that makes a great container plant out there. It can get that sort of kiyohime kind of vibe, that Akita Yatsubusa kind of shape in a container for a dwarf conifer. Evergreen, blue interest for your garden.
This one looks great in a container too. So if you want to put in a big planter, excellent way to do it. You kind of have it as that little topper there on a big patio planter. Creates everything you want in the hydroma itself. Looks like a bonsai in a container. That dense shape is going to allow you to put it out in areas that, you know, you might not want something that gets super big. You can put this in front of a window, kind of let it do its thing. Grab you a Blue Shag today on the 10 at 10. All right, y'all, remember there's another secret 10 in the email, so make sure to go check that out. There's 20 trees listed today at 10 a.m. Let's tell you about this last one here today.
Today, we got 2 gallons of Acer japonicum Takino gawa.
These are great sizes. I love Acer japonicum Takino gawa. Now, this one reminds me a little bit of what you see natively in Japan as Acer japonicum. I love going into the woods when we're in Japan and exploring around. We'll have to be a little bit more careful. They've been having a lot of like black bear attacks lately. I never really worried about it before, but I've been seeing like tons of black bear in the mountains of Japan on TV and on YouTube. This is one that reminds me a little bit about like what you see natively growing. Now it's got that crisp round leaf to it. It's certainly a cultivar status. It isn't a wild collected. It's been cultivated specifically for those traits, but it reminds me a little bit about what you see going on in the mountains.
It kind of reminds me of Ryuzu Falls when we were in Nikko National Park, looking up at the waterfall and seeing this japonicum. It's got a good sized leaf to it, just immaculate fall color. That's what Takino gawa can do. It can provide that same dramatic effect in your garden. So it can bring that Asian aesthetic to your Japanese garden and really do that in a unique way with that large leaf that gives you a good texture.
Now, Ace japonicums can almost look tropical. They're great plants. These are big 2 gallons. They're gonna go in our medium box. They're well branched. It's a great chance to pick up a larger Ace japonicum today. I think you're gonna love these, especially when they leaf out. That red tassel flower, that large foliage that gives it that almost tropical look to it. Texturally, I absolutely love Takino gawa.
Yeah, this is one of those plants that the fall color is consistent each and every year. And the larger leaf just gives a larger platform, a larger canvas to show that fall color on. This tree is one you should definitely add into your garden.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed our 10 at 10 today. Definitely be checking that email like I mentioned. There's a lot of other plants listed. There's 10 more than we even talked about here today. So go check those top secret other 10 out. This is just 10 of our favorites hitting the table.
And before you leave today, make sure you hit that like button. We'd really appreciate it.
Take care,
God bless.
and have a great day.